Yo, what's going on, faithfuls? And we're live on all major platforms: YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and Facebook. All right. And of course, happy Father's Day to everyone out there. All right. First of all, I know I put a note in there. That way everybody knows. Happy Father's Day, everybody. It's a very special day. A lot of us couldn't make it today because I know for a fact they're out with their families. And I completely understand it. So thank you very much, guys, for coming in here. And if your first time here, please hit the like subscribe button and turn on all of your notifications. All right. So, in that fact, let me see if I can go back to where I was real quick. I'm gonna miss my. Yeah, I got you. All right. So, here we go. So, basically, I want to give a special shout out to, of course, if they all make it, Mav, Ron, Mikey, Drewski, and TJ. All right. And of course, I'm your boy Ryan. Of course, next to me over here, Izzy,
Hi.
Melissa, Paul, the Hope, and of course over there, Nick, the Kingsman. I messed up into this. Sorry, I messed up into this. So what's going on, guys? What's going on? And of course, we're on Faithful Empire. That's powered by the Red and Gold 24/7. All right. So basically, I know there's a schedule and everything. There you go. And then let me see here where am I at? Get me off, kids, like you always do. Oh yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Everything pops up when I'm doing my plugs. It always happens. Of course, you catch Mav on Convo with Mav Cato. That's Twitter handle. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Tuesday nights on YouTube and IG. And of course, you can catch Coach Ron on That in Our Life. That's Twitter handle. 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Monday nights on YouTube and Twitter. And of course, coming soon, by SD. Hope he gets that running pretty soon. I told him I'd help him out. So he lets me know and I'll help him out. Of course, that's his Twitter handle. All right. And of course, gotta do it, Paul. 490 Faithful UK. That's his Twitter handle. And Club 85. And of course, I'm gonna give him a shout out, of course. Nick Cork, Shank Club NFL. That's Twitter handle. And that's the time they'll be on Saturday mornings on YouTube. All right. So basically, I know we were going to have a newcomer, but he backed down because he had a call from his father saying they would like to go out. So basically, Gavin, we'll see you next week, bud. I'll introduce you, okay? Your newcomer's going to come in. So have fun with your dad, man. Have fun with your dad. So right now, the first thing I guess we're going to talk about, I know we don't want to mention the Peace on Watching situation. We already did that. But if you guys want to bring it up, it's up to you. No? Okay. Don't worry about it. Cut it out.
Done.
All right. It's already done. I know. I got you. So basically, next thing on the dock is I wonder if you guys would know the winners and losers of the OTAs. I forgot to bring this up to you guys. I mean, you guys know. Hey, is that new OTAs? I'm about to bring it up.
I'm thinking, well, let's be honest, the big winner is going to be Trey Lance. Getting time with the starters, the offensive line, getting used to a new QB, a new style of play. And it's just going to be entrenching that new system into their brains. There's going to be a few hiccups here and there at the beginning of the season. We've got to expect it. But the more time he spends there, the better. I think he even volunteered to spend an additional week.
He did.
So, I mean, the kid's got this right. He's got his head screwed on. He's going for it, and he knows how big this is.
All right, there's 4 players that are on winners. They said on Chat Sports. Trey Lance, of course. Then you had Huff, Hufunga, and of course JJ, like I call him JJ, Juwan Jennings, and of course Drake Jackson, DJ. So what do you guys think about them winners? Yeah, Paul. We'll chime in. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, I think Drake Jackson, we said it a couple of weeks ago, when he fell to 61, there was a lot of people saying, he had concerns with his weight, going up and down in college, and he didn't really have as many sacks as you'd expect. But if Nick Bosa's going to come out, Ryan, and say he can do stuff I can't do, we talk about pressure on Trey Lance, then Nick Bosa will come out and say, this kid's pretty decent. He's doing something I can't do. And Nick Bosa's not a bad football player from what I remember, So, yeah, I mean, like Nick said, Trey Lance. I mean, I've got a good friend who's a Bills fan, and he's starting a fantasy football podcast. And he's kind of gone down after the Trey Lance on clickbait, going after the 49er fans a little bit. Reined it in a bit yesterday. He basically private messaged me and said, look, my only concern is from fantasy football. But Trey Lance is smashed out the park in OTAs, the way he's handled the press conferences, the way he's become the team leader. And I said it before, Ryan, anyone who's in any doubt whether George Kittle, our boy from Club 85, go watch the I Am Athlete. Go watch that episode, and he goes to bat for his boy. So, yeah, I'm quite happy with how OTAs went. How about everyone else?
Yeah, Nick Kingsman. Yeah, bud.
No, it's good. I mean, it's just nice to see football, even if it's just practice. It's nice to see them throwing the ball around. Football's just around the corner. It's not that far away. I think I saw a post the other day. It was like 80 odd days until meaningful football. I was like, yes. I
85.
I dropped 85 days. I don't know why 85 rang a bell, Nick.
I don't know. It's in my head. The number might have some sort of significance. I don't know.
Club 85, people. Melissa, what do you think about that?
Let's see. I love that not only Trey's staying behind, but all the rookies and some of the second years that really haven't had an off season stayed to work together, even though they didn't need to. That shows a lot from the young people we have on our roster. I am not shocked at all that George Kittle is making nice with Trey Lance, because to this day, this man has nothing bad to say about any of his quarterbacks, including Brian Hoyer. So, I mean, that's really not shocking if you think about it.
Hoyer the Destroyer in, Melissa. 3 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm in a good mood today. So, yes, I brought up Brian Hoyer for plugging reasons. But it also happens to be true. And I love that Nick Bosa is glowingly talking about Jake Jackson, which is not something he does very often.
That's very cool. Very cool. Yeah. I know for a fact. I might as well bring it up now, I guess. Might as well, since we're talking about him, I'll tell you losers real quick. There's only 3 of them. Of course, one's not playing for us right now because he's just, I don't know, he's being whatever he's being. So you guys can call it whatever you want to call it. But Fabio Garoppolo, yeah, he's a loser. They call him a loser. That's what they said. I'm just going to say that. So
I did not put him up to saying that either. Just
no, she did not.
Lies.
It's not a lie.
She's paid you, Brian. She's paid you off, Ryan. I don't like this anymore.
You pay me one bit.
If I could get him to say one person is bad, it would be Juice, and he has not said that, so that is an incorrect statement.
Sorry. And the other one that was in there, oh God, I have to go look now. I'm having a brain fart again. I need that. I can't remember who it was now.
You said
Nate
Sudfeld.
Nate Sudfeld was the last one. Nate Sudfeld. He was the last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of to be expected, though, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm. Ayuk. That was the other one. Ayuk.
Really?
He's not been doing good, it said. They were hoping for him to take the number 1 spot, but he's not looking good.
Hey, you know what? I still reiterate what I told you yesterday. This is someone who has a clinic past with not doing well in practice, but performs on the field. That's just who he is. He's not strong at practice, which is fine because we don't want more Dante Pettis. We were strong at practice and nothing else.
Hi, Pamela Queen. Thank you. Ryan, Nick, and Paul. Happy Father's Day. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ryan, I think you wanted to ask Pamela something.
Yeah, no. Pamela, real quick. If you like to be on the show, if you're not shy, camera shy, please DM me. Okay, please DM me. All right? Please DM me, all right? I know you're a New Jersey girl, so go on and DM me. And it should be under, of course, my I know I can't really do it because I know for a fact if I take it down, here you go. JMS or West Y, 16-8. That's how you follow me, all right? Go in there, DM me real quick. We'll talk about it and see how it goes, all right? Melissa, being
Hi,
called out.
Panama.
Hey, Fall, that's for you. Yep, that's right.
What a
Golden State
year.
Warriors win their
Well,
4th championship.
What
There
a
it
year
is.
to become a Golden State Warriors fan, because I was a casual fan, and I thought, when I get out to the Bay Area, Lee Gowland, my good friend, was like, you need to be a Warriors fan because you'll be able to watch the games. And I picked up my jersey and I thought, yeah. And me and Rube started watching the games again because they're on First Sky Sports over here. I didn't stay up for it the other night because I was tired, but I watched it the next morning without any spoilers, which I was quite impressed with myself. I woke up on Friday morning, didn't know the result, watched the game, and then I couldn't have it to have a go at Breezy. I was tempted to. And then I went on his Twitter page, Ryan, and I saw too many 49ers fans had gone after him. So I thought, staying away from that one.
I just hate when friggin' emails pop up on you, try to erase it from the screen. So it blocks it for you're doing. But yeah, I tell you, man, I was really hoping for IU to shine out, but it's not looking good. But I seen the video of Raymond McLeod, the one who video they're doing his workout. That motherfucker is fast. He's
Are
quick.
you worried about IO? It's only June. I'm not worried.
Loads of time.
I
Loads
didn't
of
say
time.
something like that. I knew you were.
There's loads of time.
I got you. I know.
You know, there's plenty of time for like Jimmy to reclaim his starting spot. And
Well, Ayuk, you do it, boy. Come on, man. Please.
he'll be okay. He'll come good.
Yeah, you'll see Raymond McLeod.
He's the man flies.
Yeah, no problem.
If anyone's in any doubt on what Kyle Shanahan's going to do this year, Ray McLeod, Danny Gray, fast, deep threat, speed, at any level of any sport you play, speed kills. And everyone thought Ray McLeod was being brought in as basically for the special teams only. I mean, that may be where he's used, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him used in the wide receiving. And like Melissa said, Ayuk this time last year was in the doghouse, and I drafted him very high in fantasy football. And the first month of the season, I was absolutely fuming because I thought he's never going to get a pass. But Kyle Shanahan is very clear with how he likes wide receivers to play. But I'm not worried about Ayuk at the moment. I mean,
well, there was a little bit of dog in Ayuk because he wasn't Team Jimmy and he was Team Lance from the get-go. So that had a little to do with it.
Now, Melissa, I don't know if you want to go on your rant or not about your boy, Josh Hockett. Go ahead, do your thing. Come on, girl. You do it.
I love Josh. Everyone knows I love Josh at this point. There's no need to rehash things and stir things up. That's not who I am today. Maybe another day, but not today. Today's a good day.
It's all good. It's all good. You don't want to do it? Don't worry about it. Wait for another day. It's all good. So, we're on that note. Okay, I'm going to share something with you guys. I saw it earlier, actually yesterday. I saved it. I wanted to save it real quick. I'm going to share it to you guys. Sorry about that. Boom, boom, boom. What do you think about these numbers? That's what the projection is for Nick.
It's going to be around that. It's going to be around that 30 million a year, isn't it? Let's be honest. On the average, he is one of the best players in the league. You know, I think the only one I'm putting above him personally as a non-quarterback, two I'd put above him, would be Trent Williams. And I apologies in advance. I think you've got to probably put Aaron Donald in there. But they're the only two non-quarterbacks.
Yeah, so
that I
true.
would say are worth that sort of money.
So true. Melissa?
Aaron Donald just made what he made. TJ Watt, I don't know if he's been paid, but he's probably gonna get the bag too. And I thoroughly think Bosa's waiting until next year to have another big year under his belt before he starts even thinking about doing his contract. So I don't expect Bosa to sign anything this year or even anytime close to this year.
I got you. Paul to Hope.
Yeah, I mean, when you put those numbers up there and you're saying, what do we think? Yes, can we sign him to that deal, please? Because it's Nick Bosa, and we don't want to see him anywhere else. I think what has been paid, Melissa, I think Freddie, who does Shank Club, I got into a bit of to and fro with him a couple of months ago. And to be fair, he was sticking up for his boy. What I believe he has been paid, I may be wrong. I tend to focus purely on our team rather than anyone else. But I agree with you. I think he's betting on himself. It's why he turned up at OTAs in the best shape of his life. It kind of puts your own life into perspective. I'm 4 months into recovering from a ruptured Achilles, and I can still not walk down the stairs. Nick Bosa tore his ACL and is looking even better. So, yeah, I've got no problem at all giving him that money, Ryan. But I think Melissa's hit the nail on the head. I think Bosa's betting on himself this year. And Nick, you don't need to apologise. As much as we have banter with the Rams fans, Aaron Donald is a fantastic player.
No, but seriously, like, this is a guy who had a breakout rookie year. He got screwed out of his second year. He came back this year and he got snubbed like hell for not only comeback player of the year this year, but defensive player of the year. And with TJ Watt breaking the very fake, and I'm going to say it, very fake Strahan record because he had a big for that last sack in under 17 games. I think that Bosa's coming and he's going to come with a passion to prove people wrong and remind people just how dominant he could be. And with the way his brother handled his contract, I think that Nick is going to try to outdo his brother Joey.
Man, I'm looking forward to that. So, yeah, me, I like those numbers. I do. But I'm really hoping it goes for 6 years, goes by. But I know I'm being greedy. I know. But I love the guy. I do. And yes. Oh, here it is.
Bosa!
Can you see that? I hope you can.
Bosa!
Got Bosa, yep. Father's Day gift. I opened it up. I'm like, I knew we have 49ers jersey. I said, I was asked, who's your favorite team right now? Who's your favorite player on the team right now? I said, well, on defense, Bosa all the way. I got Bosa. I don't care how well he did coming back from his ACL. Man, it just made me angry about where they put him on that thing you just talked about.
Yep.
It just made me angry because he was worth being at least number 1, number 2, no matter what. So,
does anyone else think of like George Kittle screaming Bosa in the Panthers game and signing him to a 20-year deal? Like every time you think about the contract, that's exactly where my head goes.
I love when he did that.
See, that game, Melissa, the fantasy football league that I'm in with my mates, all 12 of them were on a stag do in Vegas and I couldn't afford to go. And they flew over to that game. And 2 of the lads picked the 49ers purely for Bosa and Kittle and because of that moment. And to be fair, Ryan, Nick's gone off camera now. Nick's signed memorabilia collection is a stuff of beauty. Now, I won a mini Nick Bosa signed mini helmet. That's his pride of place. So he ain't going nowhere because I don't want to get rid of that.
I don't want going anywhere as either, man. Believe me.
I'll buy it off you, Paul.
Awesome. Ryan, New Jersey. Fair play to Mrs. Ryan and the kids. That is an awesome present, by the way, mate.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I love the kid. Love the guy. I just want him to go anywhere. They're going to keep him. This manufacturing of the money, years, guarantees, and all that shit, you know. So on from that, let me see here. See if I go right way instead of wrong way. I hope I go right way.
I hope you do too. I've
Here
seen
we
what's
go.
next.
I went the right way. See that? There we go. Debo. There's his numbers. There's projection. 4 years. I'm hoping he gets 5 years instead of 4. I'll give him for 5. But what you guys think about that, Melissa? Whoever goes first, go ahead. Whoever wants to go first.
Go on, Izzy.
I don't care what he makes. I don't see him staying because he's a grumpy little whiner right now. And if he stays and he produces, I'm gonna be a fan of him because he's a Niner. But he really turned me off this offseason with all his drama.
He hasn't provided any drama. It was us. It was the fans that have provided the drama.
He was asked at an LA club if he was going to stay a Niner or even consider it, and he's doing like this the throat slashing and all the drama, and he's making a spectacle of himself. And I'm sorry, but my father is a diehard Giants fan, and I lived through the whole Beckham thing. If you paid him and you thought that he would be content, and he wasn't, and they ended up having to trade him. I don't know. I don't see the Debo thing working out. If he's really that unhappy and he still hasn't rescinded his trade request, that money's going to make things better. Especially now with Jawan Jennings and Kittle and Brandon Ayuk and Ray McLeod and Danny Gray and all these new other weapons being there, and maybe the running back staying healthy. I don't see Debo being happy. That's just my personal thing.
If Debo was truly unhappy, would he have shown up for training?
Yes. He's a second-round pick, and he didn't want to get fined. And with the way the NFLPA is, they would get serious fines, and these guys don't want to get fined. I mean, Marshawn Lynch made an entire catchphrase out of not wanting to get fined. Like, it's a real thing now.
But if he's going to be a proper diva about it, he's not going to worry about it because he's going to get paid anyway. So he's not going to worry about a couple of $100K when he's going to end up with probably in excess of 100 million as pennies in the bank. He's not going to want to let him get hurt. I don't think he's been a diva. I think a lot of it has been taken out of context.
But I also think that he's trying
to the whole thing in the nightclub was
prove to the Niners that, well, I'll play ball as long as I get my way. Like, John Lynch has gone on the record many times saying he'd be stupid to get rid of him. Like, if your team is that set against getting rid of you, you got to play nice to not only work your current team, but maybe your future team. So that's just my opinion.
I just don't see where he's been a diva at all myself.
Okay.
He's looking after himself. He's looking after his family. It's a short career. We all know this. And you've got these very, very short clips that I think they're being shown out of context. And I'm not going to judge him on them. I'm not.
All right.
Okay. Paul?
You asked.
I was going to say the 70 million guaranteed, it doesn't sit right with me because we don't tend to pay that much in guaranteed money. Trent Williams didn't get that. George Kittle didn't get that. And I kind of sit in the middle, which anybody who knows me, you'll probably be groaning right now. I kind of see Nick's point. I kind of see Izzy's point. I do think we live in an era of social media. So, for example, Ryan, you'll have seen my post today. I grew up, didn't know my dad, and I don't often talk about it. And I've shared something which is quite personal to me today, and some family members might have taken out of context. But in my opinion, I don't care. 42 years of age, I was in the moment. And I think Debo, scrubbing his social media, I think he knew what he was doing. I think as he said, when he was in the club and he's done the whole, I think that could have been taken one or two ways. I did like to see him at OTAs. That definitely made me happy because I could drop the Debo gif with him doing the dancing against the Dolphins, which my non-49 fans hate, and dropped on me like no tomorrow during draft weekend when they thought he was getting traded. I'd love to see Debo stay. I fell in love with him more towards the end of last season. And when I did the end of season review for the 49er Faithful UK, and I was reviewing the tape, and every player was Debo. But it's a business, like Nick said. If they don't sign a contract, they're going to play him. My worry would be if he plays without a contract. We've all seen Jerry Maguire. Is he going to play like Rod Tidwell, chip on his shoulder? I want the money. Nobody else has shown me the love. I'd like to see them meet in the middle, but I took it as a positive. I'm tending to be a glass half full kind of guy these days. Seeing him at OTAs, seeing him play catch with Shanahan's youngster, seeing him doing the running up and down on the sidelines. And you've got to remember, didn't DK Metcalf not turn up for OTAs over the other side of the NFC West?
Terry McLaurin didn't show up either for the Commanders.
Near Zeke from Cowboys.
Yeah,
Right, he's been paid. What's he got to get? They're not going to give him any more.
he's just trying to make sure he doesn't get broken again.
Maybe he's offended that his head coach is going out there saying that Dak is going to run more because they don't think that Zeke is going to be able to do anything.
I hope he runs like he did in the playoff game, Dak, with 14 seconds left to go.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Whoever called that play really messed everything up for them at the end of that.
I tell you, I was jumping around the front room, as will Nick have been at daft o'clock whenever that was, and it was like, what on earth was he doing?
It was magnificent. It's my favorite rush of the year.
Even more so, I have got a good friend who's a Cowboys fan, and when I lived in my hometown, he used to come to mine every Sunday. We'd have NFL Sunday, and he is light-hearted, good-natured. We have a bit of banter, and I can't tell you on air in case my kids are watching what he said after Dak did that, and he didn't blame the refs. He wasn't blaming anything else, but yeah, that play. If Dak's going to run like that, Melissa, then yeah, please, all day long.
Yeah, the one thing that got to me when that play happened, when he started running for it, I was like, uh-oh, he's not running out of time. I know he is. And then he would have had enough time if his center didn't get the ball to him instead of the referee.
Yeah.
That cost him at least maybe a good 2 seconds.
They got the playoff, Ryan, even though it wasn't lined up well, to get the ball, and he's the one that throws it into the turf. So people who were going, they didn't have enough time. He got the playoff, but he spiked the ball, and then the clock ran out, and it was like...
That's what threw him off, that 2 seconds from getting the ball to the center instead of the referee. And when the referee spotted it finally, when he hiked the ball, I instantly played it every time, and when he spiked it, it was at 0. I knew the game was over. That's what messed them up right there. So I wonder if I know it's not Cowboy talk, but I wonder if the coach got on him for that. I wondered.
As a quarterback, you've got to know what time is on the clock and how much you've got. You should also know the rules of the game.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Dak has shown propensity for not knowing the rules of the game.
You should have known he's got to give it to the ref. Even I know that.
I always watch that play, and I always expect a Daniel Jones flop at the end of that run, just tripping over yourself.
When he first took off, the first couple of seconds, I thought, this better not be a Justin Fields. When Justin Fields ran around against us and made a big play, and then you've got to love this show. We're talking about Deebo Samuel's contract, and then any Cowboy fan who is actually watching right now sat at home thinking, how on earth have you gone from Deebo Samuel's contract to reminding us of that run?
Is it happy times? Happy times, man. They were good times.
Like anyone would say, did the rest really screw them, or did they get lucky to even have that shot? Because, I mean, if we hadn't lost third down and Jimmy hadn't snapped the damn ball early when Trump was being moved in motion, the game would have been over way before that. The refs gave him a chance.
That's so true.
Cowboys screwed themselves.
Yep.
They screwed themselves.
So on that note,
that said, Ryan,
go Paul. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
That said, my friend who is a Cowboys fan, it'll be no surprise to all of you that we are winning the Super Bowl this year, going from the text messages I've received from him.
I love when we crack on Cowboy fans and Cowboys. I love it. Ain't nothing like it. Nothing. Really not. Even though half my family here are Cowboy fans. So. But we have we have Eagles fans, Cowboys fans, Packers fans. Yes, my mother's boyfriend was a Cowboy fan. So
no love for the cheeseheads here. No, none.
It's Aaron Rodgers over this side of the pond. It's not even the Green Bay Packers. One of my good friends. He's not a Packers fan. He loves Aaron Rodgers, which is fair enough. I mean, a lot of people over this side of the pond fall in love with the game due to players, red zone, fantasy football. That's why you see a lot of Brady jerseys, Aaron Rodgers. But I'm going to kind of steal your thunder a little bit, Ryan. I'll tell you what I have noticed in the last week. Non-49er fans are more obsessed about Trey Lance, and I tweeted about this the other day, than 49er fans. we've got OTAs. We're hearing all the noise coming out of training camp. The players, the coaches, we're quite relaxed. Then you've got he who shall not be named, who claimed to be a former scout, but he's actually a T-boy. And I can't bring myself to block him just yet because I tried to engage him in an honest conversation and he shot me down. And then I was watching Breezy on one of his lives last week, and Breezy seemed to think that he was going to come on the Breezy show and maybe try and argue his point. But non-49er fans are more bothered about Trey Lance than we are.
Got you on that, man. I do. So true. So true. So, got some questions here. Hopefully it lasts for another half hour or so. I'm hoping for it.
Let's go.
So that was a good talk, though. It was good. Okay, first one is, what are you looking forward to most this year? Yeah, faithfuls, let us know. The two that are watching.
I just can't wait for football at this point. It's been so long since football.
Mm-hmm.
I'd settle for almost anything. And I say almost. I know I wouldn't settle for a Niners loss, but I just want to see football. I want to see the Niners playing. I want to see what Trey Lance can do. I want to see how we're going to evolve the running game. How what's going to happen, because there's going to be a drop in Debo's touches if he is a Niner this year. I want to see how we're going to work that around. I just can't wait to see all of it. It's sitting down. You got your Sunday planned out. It's like, right, got my nachos. I've got my beer. I've got my Niners. Right then, let's go.
Love that positivity, man. Love that positivity from you. Okay, Melissa, you want to go next?
Paul should go next.
Okay, Paul. Go ahead, Paul.
Well, I'm chuckling because Nick's mentioning NFL Sunday. So that starts at 5:45 in my house. So Tracy allows me, and I say this very lovingly, to station 2 TVs in the front room from September to February. So I have Red Zone on one screen, 49ers on the other screen. I say 5:45 so I can set my many fantasy football lineups, get my snacks sorted, like Nick said. And then what I'm looking forward to this year, I hadn't really done shows like this before. I did the 49er Faithful UK pod, which is audio only. And then Shank Club invited me on, and I met you guys. So I'm looking forward to the season start and for us to be able to digest the games and to talk about it. And I'm ready for the roller coaster. There's going to be some ups and downs. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going undefeated, we're winning the Super Bowl, Trey Lance is going to be the greatest thing in the history of the world. It'd be nice. I want us to beat Seattle because they always seem to bloody beat us, and I hate that.
We're going to do the double.
So I just, like Nick said, I'm looking forward to see what Trey can do. I'm looking forward to see how the team can play. And yeah, NFL Sunday in my house starts. And to be fair, the kids are getting into it a bit more this year, like last year, and I just can't wait for football. We're so close. I had to share the 85 days just so I could get the George Kittle reference in. And you can already see the banter on social media is already starting to slowly build up. So, and I'm looking forward to our Faithful Empire Fantasy Football League that Mav has started. I cannot wait for the draft night for that. There's going to be some trash talk flying around.
Yeah, I'll be the first one to tell you about that fantasy football style. I'm not very good at doing that. I'm not. I'll be first to tell you. I've never done fantasy football my whole life. So
the problem is, Ryan, when you're a Niners fan like us, every fantasy football draft to do, I think, don't take Niners. Don't take Niners. Ooh, Trey Lance is there. Ooh, Debo Samuel's still there. Ooh, George Kittle's still there. And then I get to my team and I'm like, yeah, it's all 49ers players. So it's a little bit.
Yeah. Bye week comes and you're buggered.
Well, like when you plug the shows, hey man, I'm very proud to have you on here. I really am. It's an honor, really, for all you, no matter what. So, for me, for this year, actually, okay, go ahead, Melissa. Get out of here next. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ladies first. Ladies first.
What am I waiting for this year? I cannot wait for Justin Fields versus Trey Lance. I think a lot of us wanted that the second that we heard about Halloween last year. I cannot wait to see the depth of this team. Like, I think we're all just waiting for like real cornerback play and to finally not have to worry week in and week out who's going to be brought onto this team to fill in needs. I'm dying to see Elijah Mitchell. Like, I fell in love with this kid way early last year. Like, I cannot wait for him to come out and just ball. I can't wait to see Jawan Jennings probably become like a deep red zone threat, and he has the frame for it. I want to see Kittle stop being used as a lineman and be used as an actual tight end again. And I'm just excited. Like, I haven't felt this much excitement for a really long time, and it's mostly because 10 is finally going to stop being a thorn in everybody's side.
Really good, really good. For me, oh boy, seeing the faithful crowd them stadiums red. I can't wait for it. SoFi, do your thing, guys. Faithful, come on, do your thing,
dude. We all know it's Levi South. It's Levi
South.
South.
Oh yeah. Levi South. You got that right.
Listen, we've the last couple of seasons, well, certainly since the COVID break, we packed stadium. We took over places in a really amazing way. I mean, fair play to all the people that travelled to the games last year, under everything that was going on, and
absolutely,
they still absolutely smashed it, man.
The way that Faithful took on both Melissa Whitworth and some Stafford lady I'm not going to mention because she really pissed me off. And then got not only themselves there by trying to assert the stupid law that was banning people that were not in LA County and getting Staley and Gore and other Niner vets involved to lift that ridiculous law. And the way they challenged the whiteout in Dallas, Faithful really, really showed up. And that was really nice to see.
I'm gonna bounce on what you just said about Frank Gore. That's another thing I can't wait to see this year. It's for 1 year. It's only for 1 day, 1 game. I don't care. He's suiting up. I don't know if he's gonna be running or not, but at least he'd be suiting up on that sideline.
Yo, how cool would it be for the first game in the stadium to have Frank Gore and Jerry Rice both run down the field together for a 100-yard dash?
I was just about to say that too.
That would be my diehard pre-game thing to get you really psyched for the first Niner home game.
That's like Niner porn. Now, are we allowed to say things like that? Are we past the watershed yet?
You're good.
I'm not standing up for a while.
Sorry, I had to laugh at that one. Sorry.
I might be sat down, but I am giving you a standing ovation.
Yeah, I mean, you got me on that one.
To be fair, Ryan,
just a joke.
Good.
Before you move on, like what Melissa and Nick were saying there, I think that's the reason why we've got such a great fan base. I mean, look, there's 4 of us on here today, 2 from the States, 2 from the UK. And I think the fact that the faithful have embraced us and we don't feel second rate and we don't feel like we come on these shows and you mock us. We're dedicated. Yes, we're not at the stadium and we're 5,000 miles away, but you have seen our passion, and I know Nick's going to be over there this year. I wanted to jump in and say that's one thing I'm looking forward to, because what you'll see is financially it's a stretch for me at the moment. I am going to make the pilgrimage one day. But when I see good friends like Nick making the journey, I'm sat at home absolutely buzzing. And I know I'll be like, just spam me, just send me every photo you've got. I cannot wait to see you over there. And that's what we love, the faithful. And we're a community, we're a family. And that's another reason why, I'm just chuckling there, Residency have just tagged me in a post, and me and Ruth are on a post with Brent Williams. I'm like, where's my check? But like just things like that, and you just, I just love our 49er faithful, and I'm just looking forward to connecting through the season. And like you said there, is you look through the schedule. We did a breakdown the other week, and you look at all the games, and everyone's got a reason. I mean, I've led you there nicely, Nick. Which games will you be representing at Levi's? Come on, tell us all.
Yeah, I will be there for the Saints and the Dolphins games. So I the first thing I'm looking for is two games back to back. I was hoping we would have 2 back-to-back home games in September because I really wanted to try and catch a Giants game. There's one thing I still yet to achieve. But on the bright side, going in late November, hopefully I'll be able to catch a Warriors game, depending on ticket price. And I don't know, maybe I'll pop back down to San Jose and watch the Sharks as well.
Can you imagine? Yeah, Paul.
On the side of the pond, the 49ers have been really good because we're the international market, and they've reached out and they're hoping to help our meetup. So we tend to have a meetup in season, Ryan. The Lee's picked, I want to say the 16th of October, but it's in Ireland, which I won't be able to make. But week 1, I think the 49ers are hoping to make a watch party somewhere in the UK. What we've said is
cool.
We've said please not London because everything's in London. I know our friend Nick J. Peplow, he had originally looked at Birmingham because it's in the middle, but we've asked him just to put a pin in that at the moment because the 49ers may be coming up with something for us on this side of the pond, which would be epic. It's a 6 o'clock game as well, Nick, so regardless of where it is. So
I wasn't planning on going, but it sounds like I might have to.
So Ryan, will go live from wherever the watch party is. We'll be representing the red and gold. And when you said before about us name dropping the shows, what we do, I went on the Let's Talk Sport on Thursday, and my co-host, a Jets fan, he loves the 49er community. I give you a plug on that show. I've put you in my bio on my Twitter account. And like I said, it's a family. You look at the likes of Breezy and John Chapman and all those guys. What I like about it is no one's competing. I want to say content creators. We're talking on our team because we love our team. And that's it. And I can't wait for football to start, man. I'm proper hyped now.
Can I plug something real quick? I know you wanted to do it at the end of the show, but I think just because we're on topic, it fits here. Please, if you like tailgating or if you like meetups, giveaways, if you like just meeting faithful, please go look into the John Chapman Gold Rush road trip. He brought us a lot of luck last year going into Chicago and Philadelphia and LA and many other big meetups. They're doing it again this year. And not only are they doing it this year and they're going back to Chicago week 1, but they're going international this year and they are going to Mexico, and there will be Breezy and there will be John and there will be tons of faithful. So let's go. And I cannot wait for Twitter to be taken over by the Gold Rush and all their awesome fans.
They're doing every road game, Melissa, because
I was just screaming at the 2 that I'm looking forward to most. But
I don't know if you saw John Chapman. Lee Gowland had sent him the 49er Faithful UK flag. As obviously like a thank you for looking after him in Vegas. And John's promised to fly that at all the road trip games. So
that is awesome.
You know, so it just goes to show that the connection between. But yeah, if I was over the States, I'd.
One thing about Frank Gore, can you imagine him coming on a game? Can you just imagine it? Him running a friggin' straight touchdown?
I just want to see Gore and Staley with Jerry Rice
I'm just saying,
stands. I love Staley.
That'd be amazing. Would.
They'll be there.
Would. That'd be a good send-off. He'd be like, okay, guys, I'm getting this ball. I'm done. Earn my money. I'm out of here. Thank you.
Suit him up in week 2 against the Seahawks and just let him run all over them, and then it'd be like... Just as Nick about to stand up, I drop that and he's having to sit back down again now at that far. I can see.
I know. You've got to stop talking sexy at me, Paul. Tracy might be watching here.
Yeah, I appreciate them listening for saying all that. That Chapman. It's all good. It's all cool. Yeah, I'm going to try to do the live streaming from the shows for the games. So if anybody wants to show up, they can. So
the issue that we have with that depends on the times, because if I say to you,
I'm
in prime time and it's like 2:30,
I know that.
I have already had a few yellow flags from the better half about noise complaints.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tracy.
She's still Ryan when we played the Packers, and she walked in and I was leaping around the front room and she was like, you're getting beat 7-0. I was like, they've blocked the field goal. They've blocked the field goal. Right, I'm going to bed. I'll see you in the morning. And then she was like, did they win? I was like, yeah, they won. She was like, oh, you weren't too noisy. I was like, well, you know.
Hey, Paul, you just sent me a DM. Do you want me to post that on the show or not? The one picture you just showed me.
Oh, yeah, if you can, yeah.
Okay, I'll do it real quick for you. No problem.
I forgot to send it today. I was confused. Like,
I got you.
What pictures are you sending each other?
Nothing
Well,
bad.
we're about
Don't
to
worry,
find
nothing bad.
out.
Nothing bad. Don't worry.
We're about to find out.
Nothing bad. Don't worry about that.
He's building suspense here, isn't he?
I give you guys credit. Like, that's like major, big time. Like, I'm still shocked that Carl did that last year. Like, even when the Patriots weren't being live, he stayed up every single time and streamed those shows and had commentary throughout the whole thing. That's like, that's amazing.
2012.
It was a lot of fun.
On the spot. You do have to take the day off after, because win, lose, or draw, you just can't switch off. So many a time, like, me and Nick will be texting because it's 5 o'clock in the morning. You know, he's still up because he just watched the game with me. So
it's nuts. It is. It's so hard. Like the worst ones are the Monday and Thursday night football are just a nightmare.
Look at that. Claim to fame. Trent Williams and his family and me and Rubes.
That's so cute.
They were like, do you mind if we use your photo? No.
You're very welcome, Paul. You're very welcome, man. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the backstory, we shared it the other week. The residency hats have taken off in a big way over here. It's just the shipping costs are killing some people. But to be fair, they're a small company. So to see them smashing it and seeing all the players wearing the hats has been unbelievable. But yeah, that was a nice touch on Father's Day just to see that. I mean, Christ almighty, to say I'm on the same page as Trent Williams.
That's really cool.
It's pretty cool.
So thanks
That's
for
really
sharing
cool.
Looks great, bro, man. Don't worry about it, man. It's all good, dude. You know that.
So
yeah.
Nick, you texted me the other day and said I was a celebrity, and I laughed at you. So maybe I can't. I was like,
you're everywhere.
Kids.
I can't open Twitter anymore without seeing you anymore, Paul.
I'm disappointed there, mate.
Not disappointed.
You know,
Tracy's going to have to look over her shoulder.
See, at this point, Ryan, we need to give Nick the love because Nick got MVP in his flag football. So
one game,
you know. Yeah, but still, I saw that on socials, and you know, so fair play.
It was a shame because we didn't get the result in that particular game. Yeah, but in fairness, the team we played are one of the best in the UK. So, and we gave them a run for their money. It's good. It's good when you can play good quality teams, and they're a good yardstick to measure yourself against.
I'm just waiting for all your teammates, apart from Ash, to be like, who on earth is this guy in the northeast of England retweeting all our stuff and commenting on everything?
It has been mentioned.
I will continue to do so. I'm going to be your biggest supporter. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm getting scared on my personal, the 49er Faithful UK, and now on the Red and Gold 24/7.
It has been mentioned a couple of times. We're getting retweeted a lot by the UK Niners Club. I was like, I don't know why that is.
No idea who runs that page.
Yeah, shout out to your beautiful daughter, Ruse, man. Shout out to her okay. Gotcha. So that's a beautiful picture. That's a beautiful picture. It really is. I like that. That's why I wanted to make sure you want me to put it on here. So make sure before I put it on here.
If residency are watching and would like to send all 4 of us any promotional kind of headwear, t-shirt, we would be more than happy to do so.
I said I have a massive lack of hair on top as well. It'd be a good thing, you know. Bless this old man's top of his head.
That was really good, man. Next question on Doc. Let's see here. Here we go. What most merch are you looking forward to most at each game?
We're only short hashing this, isn't it? This could be a long show when you're talking merchandise with me and Nick.
You only need to do 1 or 2. No need to do 20 or 30 of them.
There's only one thing I want to add. I want to add a big UK Niners flag, and I want to have a proper faithful flag side by side. Those are the only things that are really missing for me at the moment, unless something crops up that I fancy buying.
Have you hit up Faithful Hodge? Because he's kind of like the go-to for the Niner flags.
I might have to be honest.
Yeah.
So I've got one, but it's the one. It's the red and gold, and I love the one with that Hodge has. That's with the red and the white. It's stunning.
Yeah.
See, I wear 49 a Faithful UK one, the big flag. I've said to you before, Nick, it's about 70 odd quid. So I know Lee's doing the smaller one, which he gave me. Merchandise this year, Ryan, for us in the UK, any of you guys go to the games, any of the freebies that they hand out at the games that you don't want or you pick extra, they are like gold dust to us in the UK. So, for example, I've got the 3 bobbleheads, the Kittle in the white that was given out at the Panthers game. Even though I had 12 good friends at that game, not one of them brought one back, and I had to pay like 60 odd quid on eBay for one. So what we would say is any freebies at the stadium, if you're on the way out and you're seeing them on the, you get an extra couple at rally towels, T-shirts, we would always be ever grateful, and we'd always cover the shipping costs. And yes, it is a bit of a beg, but shame you don't get if you don't ask.
Yeah, for me, any kind of merch. I mean, I never went to a football game my whole life, so I can't afford them. Put it that way.
Aren't you heading to the Atlanta game?
I'm hoping for it. I don't know yet.
Right, we got to get Ryan to Atlanta.
I can't guarantee it.
That's it. We're gonna have to spam your missus with messages
because I know for a fact Bill's coming a long way, man. They do. Bill's coming a long way. And how bad the electric is right now.
I've never been to an NFL game yet. I mean, I got into the sport in 2012, and when we played the Jags at Wembley, Rubes was 6 months old and she had a hole in her heart. So at the time, I didn't feel I could come to London. That's my only regret, is not going to that game, because thankfully everything's all right now. When you talk merch, Ryan, we know the cost over here in the UK. It's expensive. So our group always shares any hints, tips, any freebies, any discount codes. But I would like to get a Trey Lance jersey, but I'm holding off at the moment. And like what Nick said, merchandise-wise, there's nothing really I'm looking to add unless it's something special. But we all know the cost of living's gone up for everyone. And you misunderstood. I don't know whether Izzy and Nick saw. I keep seeing you guys sharing about gas prices in the States. And over here, our fuel is ridiculous because the government charges like 60% in tax. And I'd shared a post, and Ryan was like, "Wow, I wish I would cost that much." And I was like, "I'm sure you're reading that wrong, Ryan. I'm sure."
I didn't read it right. I didn't read it right. Don't worry, I didn't read it right.
Yeah. I was just saying though. So for us, we know the costs, and it's like I did Shank Club the other week, and Scott was saying, "Oh, you're going out to the Munich game for the Tampa Bay versus the Seahawks?" And I was like, "No, I'm not spending my money. I'm going to watch the Seahawks play for my first ever NFL game. It's just not happening."
Yeah, I got you. I'm just hoping for each game. I'm hoping we just bleed the bitch red. We fill the whole stadium red. Don't care what it is. Just hope it can red. That's all I'm hoping. What about you, Melissa?
I'm not exactly swimming in money to go to a game or have merchandise, but I am lucky enough to have won one of Mariah's giveaways from the Faithfully Pod. And nice. I am getting an exclusive Trey Lance card from his days back in North Dakota State. So I'm looking forward to putting that next to the sign that I got from her.
Like it.
I got you. Cool. So, did you answer? You answered, Nick, right? Didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, next one. I know time you guys got, so I'm just trying to. I don't know. I'm rushing you guys out, so trying to do my best here. Do you still watch old players from the 49ers that play on their teams? Like 49 players go on other teams. Do you still watch them?
I look out for some. I look out for KB. I do watch out for Kendrick because I love that guy. He scored the first Niners touchdown I saw live, so. I was really happy that he started to really pick things up in New England. I keep an eye, but if they're not wearing red and white anymore and red and gold. So I kind of lose interest at that point.
That is so true. Okay, Paul.
I mean, from a fantasy football perspective, like I said, in my house, I've NFL Sunday, I've Red Zone on, which is massive over here. So, but yeah, like Nick, I did have a bit of a soft spot for Bourne, but once the go, I mean, dare I mention 10? I did like Jimmy when he first come. I've got a couple of Jimmy jerseys, got a couple of Jimmy bobbleheads. So when Jimmy goes, I wish him the best, but I'm a 49ers fan, so I'm not going to choose to watch any other team over ours. But yeah, it depends if I draft in fantasy football, to be honest.
That question is my fault. I will take full credit for that. Because we were having a discussion. And I was like, you know what? Maybe the other people do what I do. But way back when in the Harbaugh Fangio days, I fell in love with Delaney Walker, who I believe is a very underrated 49er. And when he became a Titan, I was crushed. So I actually started tuning into Titan games if they were not up against Niner games, just to see Delaney play. And I also had a soft spot for Frank Gore. So whether he was a Colt or a Bill or a Jet, if the AFC games were on and it wasn't the Jets, because that's who I get all the time because I'm in New Jersey, I would tune in and watch Frank Gore as well.
That's
I mean,
fair.
I watch other NFL games, but not quite 49ers. And I will watch other games. And I mean, I rewatched the Chiefs-Bills game on Thursday. I'm home alone at work. And I was like, promising myself, no NFL day, no NFL day. Game Pass just fell on the telly. And then before I knew it, I was watching the Bills-Chiefs game again. I just don't know how it happened.
That's it.
I got two of them.
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me. Joe Montana
Uh-huh.
going to the freaking Chiefs. But I didn't follow the Chiefs though. And of
That's
course, the GOAT, Jerry Rice, going to the Raiders.
Oh,
Didn't watch the Raiders either. That's what I didn't follow them either on them. Sorry. I didn't follow the 49ers. Sorry. I just
There is one player I thought if he ever left that I would watch him because he was just so essential to like me becoming a big fan as an adult. I thought I would watch Navarro Bowman. I could not stomach the idea of Navarro Bowman in the black and silver. And it really pissed me off when he left mid the way he did. Like to this day, I can't do it.
I hate the way he was forced out. It was wrong.
I don't think he was forced out. I think he left himself, and I always find it, I don't know, kind of statistically like that we ended up with a better record that year than the Raiders did.
The only saving grace for me was on the 49ers club shop. Bowman's Vapor Limited jersey dropped from $170 to $27. And my friend Dan was in the States at the time filming a wedding. So I got a Vapor Limited Bowman home jersey for $27.
Nice.
But I know what you mean, Melissa. But no, it isn't interesting because I get asked all the time over here in the UK because we do watch other teams and listening to you there about Delaney Walker. I kind of caught on the tail end of that those Harbaugh years, and there was talk of him coming back. So you must have been absolutely over the moon with that. Was it this off season? No, last off season.
Last off season, wasn't it? Yeah.
See that I would have been happy with a couple of years ago, but last year, no, because at that point I kind of got sick of Shanahan bringing in all his former people. You know, with like the Tom Comptons of the world and Alex Mack and all his other former ties and stuff. Though Kerry Harder worked out for us that 1 year because he has a connection to Chris Kasarik. I don't know. At that point, I was just kind of like over and done with the former players that have ties to the people here. So I always loved Delaney, but I wasn't really into him coming back.
I think for this question, Ryan, I don't know about Nick, if Tracy's watching. I'm not allowed to watch college football on a Saturday. I've gently proposed the idea and it's been shot down many a time. So I don't tend to have those college crushes that some of my friends have. So Najee, who Nick knows from the 49 FA for UK, he loves Justin Herbert because he's a big Oregon Ducks fan. So Nadji will admit he watches more Chargers games sometimes than he does 49ers games. So I don't have that. I see the odd bits of college game. And when we head into draft season, I tend to go onto YouTube. But it must be difficult if you're a massive college fan. You fall in love with a player and then he goes to like one of your rivals. That always makes me wonder because there is people who do follow their college crushes. So,
well, funny you should mention that because obviously one of our other members, Ash, obviously is a Patriots fan. Bless his cotton socks. But he's also an Iowa State fan.
not for long.
And
Shout out
of
to
course,
Ashley. Shout out to Ashley.
we signed with we picked with Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy, Iowa State quarterback.
Okay.
So Ash is a little bit like, oh, it's one of his favorite players in college is now a Niner. I was like, oh, you have to be a Niners fan now, aren't you? He's like, no. But it is funny how it works. I think my first one now, obviously, Stanford's my team. I've been following them now 2 years. I think I like Tanner McKee. I do. He's never going to be a Niner. And I'm concerned about that because I don't want him to be playing in the NFC West either because I'm going to have to want him to lose. But be interested to see how he goes because I think he's projected being a first round pick next year, although a lower end first round pick. So it'd be interesting to see how my feelings on that one work out.
See, to kind of bring it back to a 49er related content, my friend Mike, who's a Rams fan, didn't know anything about the NFL 2 years ago, but he works offshore in Brazil.
Mhm.
So got introduced to sport. He picked the Rams. He's fell in love with college football. He's a stats guy. When we traded Trey Lance, Melissa, he texted me and was like, he's going to be dangerous in Shanahan's offense. And whenever I get any grief off my other friends, I'm like, he's one of our biggest rivals. And he texted me that on day one. And he hasn't been wrong on many plays since he fell in love and he knows the stats. So I'm holding on to that. But you're right, Nick. Like Lee Gowland, the lad who runs the 49 FA for the UK, he's a Stanford fan because when he goes over to the States, like you, he tried to cram in the Warriors, Stanford. And he really had a soft spot for McCaffrey because I didn't realise McCaffrey was a Stanford player. And Lee has got many a Stanford jersey as well as his 49er ones and his Sunderland ones.
I'm still bitter about Creed Humphrey. That was like my major, like first, like draft crush. Like I insanely wanted him to be a Niner, and then we traded back and we got Aaron Banks because of the McGlinchey connection, and that he is a Chief still kind of riles my gourd. So I understand, sort of.
See, I don't know if you saw Ryan. So the off season, it's a bit quiet. So as Nick has pointed out, I may run the 49er Faithful Twitter account on some occasions. And I put a tweet out yesterday, and it was basically tongue-in-cheek, and I'd pinched the idea off another fan base, and it was, if you could only choose one, Joe or Steve, who would you choose? And 90% of the people took it how it was intended, but there was the odd people like, how can you be choosing between them? And I was like, whoa, calm down. It's a bit of a Twitter poll in June just to keep the off-season ticking over, but it just goes to show you that even now, 2022, there's still some people who obviously were fans back then. It's still very bitter. So I may be dropping a few more of them, Nick.
Throw the grenade and off I go.
Now I got a good one. It bounces off of that too. Got a good one too. I know I might push you guys because I knew you probably guys don't have any. But the ones who are going to watch later on replay, if you watch old players from the 49ers that went to our team, did you ever buy a jersey for their team with their name on it? No, I'm not saying about you guys. I'm talking about the other people. So that's another question for you guys, if you guys ever did. So if you did, hey, leave a comment. Let us know later on after you watch the replay. All right? So next one on the doc is, which draftees are your favorites? At all the draftees for this year. I'm talking about this year. Sorry. Got any favorites? Whoever wants to jump in, go jump in. Anybody? Anyone?
Jason. I know he wasn't drafted. Jason Poe. I like him. I like him a lot.
Yay.
And again, another one undrafted. O'Neal, the safety. I think
Yes.
Texas A&M. Those two have become my favorites, and they weren't even drafted. They weren't even drafted.
UGF love. I love it.
I want those two. I want those two to do it. I really do.
Yes.
I think we've got it.
At this point, I have to say Samuel Womack, purely because Lee announced the pick, and that was awesome. You'll chuckle, Nick. Lee bought a jersey from NFL Europe, and it had the wrong font on. And
Yeah.
Samuel Womack, we'd love to see, because obviously if he can stay on the Niners forever and ever, that's fantastic for us in there. Bought an NFL for UK. I like Jason Poe. I was glad we picked up West. I'd love to see Danny Gray. I just love to see him. I mean, Drake, all the ones are drafted, Ryan. There's no one I'm sat here thinking, oh, why did we draft him? But off the top of my head, I'd love to see Samuel Womack and Danny Gray really do something this year.
Me, Drake, Danny, and Womack. I'm very excited for all three of them. I am. I hope. Pray to God that freaking Danny Gray gets his ankle or knee, whatever happened to him. I hope he gets better. I'm looking forward to seeing him. And Drake, I think that, I don't know if that's the reason why we kept D Ford. But I hope we
You
move
had
on.
to mention 55.
I had to, because I think it's the reason why we got Drake, because it'll help out on D Ford's side.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a bingo call sheet, Melissa. We have to drop 10, 55. Thank God.
I'm sorry, man. I had to do it.
I'll be honest,
He and I talked about this for hours yesterday.
Hang on, Ryan. I've just got your message. Wait a sec, mate.
is it the right name? Because I got bingo if it is.
Okay, so my answer would be drafted players would be Jake Jackson, and I'm hoping to God that this is the very last defensive lineman that we take with our first overall pick. I am so sick of it. It's a running joke, and the only year that we broke it was for Mike McGlinchey, which, yeah. So if it's drafted players, it's Jake Jackson, easy peasy. And I am so in love with all the undrafted free agents, especially Jason Poe, and I cannot wait to see him. Although I am getting very, very fed up with him being listed as a fullback offensive lineman, because I am still pushing for Josh Hockett to get his chance, and it's just they don't want to give him a shot at all, which is really scummy. But that's just my own personal thing.
That's our crush, Josh Hockett.
You got to feel for Hockett, because he's not like he's a bad player. He's just stuck behind. He's just stuck behind Juice.
And Juice is getting so much freaking money.
You know?
You can't do anything about it unless he freaking really decides to go and follow through with what he threatened to a couple of years ago, which is go live on the East Coast with his family. But it is what it is.
And we have bingo. Nick Ludlam called number 44. That rather well. I was expecting the whole 44. I'm joking.
What do I win? What do I win?
I got it in there with the Jason Poe thing. I don't like that everyone's listing him as a fullback, but that's how he gets on this team, that I'd be happy, because I haven't really gotten into many of these offensive linemen for real that we brought in, and I'm really hoping for good things for him.
Yeah, we did so well with those undrafted free agents. I mean, I feel like we did the best out of all 32 teams with the undrafted players.
Donovan West was a great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Bounce off that one about the undrafted free agents. I hope Ray Cloud shines. I'm hoping for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to give you a chuckle, when we did the Fought an NFL for the UK show, we were like, we're not drafting 9 players, because we don't do that. We're not taking any undrafted free agents. So it just goes to show what we know. We drafted 9 and we picked about 32 undrafted free agents. So just goes to show, right, in this game.
Happens.
But nah, they smashed it with the undrafted free agent. Unbelievable.
I just hope we don't
Yes.
lose a lot of this depth because we still do have a lot of 1-year deals, and I'm hoping that some of these guys shine so that way we can still sign the Bosas and the guys
Mhm.
coming up, and then maybe hold on to some of the 1 years and be able to move on with some of these new guys.
Listen,
Plus, everyone fell in love with Raheem Mostert, so guess what? Undrafted free agents can actually produce.
this is it. This is it. You don't know where the gems are going to come from sometimes.
The hidden gem somewhere's in there. Hopefully. Hopefully.
Look at 85. He wasn't a first round pick.
Yep, that's right.
And he's the last person left from the Shanahan first draft.
Yep.
Is he?
Very true.
Yes, he is. DJ Jones is now a Bronco, so now George Kittle is the only player left from the 2017 draft.
Wow.
Yep, from Shanahan's. Yep, when he first started with us.
So if Mav's watching, Mav's throwing his phone at the wall or something right now. I'll be getting a tweet off Mav about 85 now. We've dropped that in, Melissa. No doubt about that.
Oh boy. Okay, we're all good with that one. So next one on Doc and last one on Doc is: do you think has snubbed
Nick.
by
Nick.
Yeah.
Nick, I've been dying to hear this.
It's Roger. It's Roger. I mean, the man. We've all said these things a million times. It's Roger Craig. I mean,
first person to ever do the 1,000 and every other member is in the friggin' Hall of Fame.
Exactly. He's Hall of Fame. Simple as.
He's been punished, hasn't he? Because
the worst part is that people said that he doesn't deserve to be in because so many other big stars were on those 80s Niners teams. But I'm sorry, like you have almost the entire stupid Rams team and that was the greatest show on turf. And you had to have Kurt Warner, who's been on the NFL Network for how many years, whine about how he wasn't brought in before Orlando Pace and everybody else. Like, you got to stop punishing players because they were on great teams. Like, this guy did something that no one ever had done before.
Yeah.
Marshall's in. Everyone else that has ever reached that accomplishment has been in, and no one questions it. So I agree with you. I don't understand why. But for me, the play that I fell in love with as an adult and to this day still has a very dear part of my heart, I don't understand the hate for Patrick Willis. They keep saying he wasn't part of good teams. He didn't win the ring. He didn't play long enough. But you know what? Megatron just got in. And no one can say that the Lions weren't like really a competitive, well-producing team. Terrell Davis is in for the Broncos. I guess he has 2 rings, but he didn't play very long. So the very fact that Patrick Willis is just always a semifinalist and then just kind of drops off, that one really, really irritates me that Patrick is not in the Hall of Fame.
He is one of the best linebackers from the 2000s. Let's be honest.
Yes.
That would be mine because of when I started watching the sport, Melissa, and obviously you get attracted to offense and the quarterback, and 52 and 53 for me. I was like, who on earth are these two?
Okay. The first 2 things that I ever bought myself on the NFL shop were 2 shirts, and one of them was a long sleeve shirt that I had to have custom made because everything was cryo-option and it kind of sickened me to my stomach. It still does to this day. So I had a custom made Justin Smith shirt because that was like my player. I loved the Cowboy. And then when we went to the Super Bowl and I said, well, you know what? I already have Justin Smith. The next player has to be Patrick Willis. So to this day, I still have the Patrick Willis shirt from that particular Super Bowl.
See, for us, that season, the Nike UK shop must have over-ordered. Basically, the game printed, where the screen printed jersey, Patrick Willis was like 20 quid, the white one. So I think every 49er face in UK member had a 52. So back in the day, we'd have been Club 52, Ryan. We wouldn't have been. You're right. I mean, everything he did, he was awesome. And even now his career's finished. He's not controversial. He's given back to the community. He's still as humble. He's not like you, someone. He's not coming up saying, "Oh, why am I not in it?" And I still follow him on social media. But yeah, he definitely.
His reaction the first time that he was even in the process to be a. I will never get over his reaction on the NFL Network. Like that really was humbling, and just I cried for like a good 3 hours after that. Patrick Willis is way underrated.
Who's yours, Ryan? Who do you think is who would you like to see in?
Sorry, I deal with kids. Yeah, I probably had to go for the same one you guys went for, Willis and Bowman. Definitely. So I know Jerry Rice and Justin Cowboy Smith is already in. So yeah, I definitely had to go for Willis and Bowman. Definitely. So, sorry.
Okay.
She's a scene stealer, and it's Father's Day, so.
I was going to say, Ryan, I've heard my stepdaughter, so I'm going to have to shoot off shortly anyway. I could hear the dog go. But before you go off, Ryan, I don't know if you were watching the locker room rant tonight. So me and Nick were texting. John V, big friend of the show. I tuned in live because last week, Melissa, it was banned in the UK because it played the Macarena. So I said to John V, I can't get on because you're banned in the UK. So when I watched this week's show, he gave us a shout out at the start. And
I heard.
Got to give John V the credit for that. And to be honest, that show was absolutely hilarious. You were in the comments. I'm pretty sure you were in the comments.
Dude, I trolled those comments, and I wanted to go all New Jersey on a couple asses on that fucking show because they went way over the line. Yeah. On a particular topic I'm not bringing up because it is a good day today, and we don't want to talk about such nasty things. But we love John V.
Yes, we do.
We love Tony, the Bills fan on that show, and
I like Tony.
The other people shall remain nameless because you do not want to see me go on New Jersey on someone's ass.
I am aiming to watch live. I'll join you in the comments. I'm aiming in the next couple of weeks. It's so late over here.
Just remind John to set up the Twitch account because he hasn't been streaming on there, and sometimes Tony overdoes it with John's least favorite thing, the wrecking ball noise. And sometimes it's a little necessary for them to have the backup account streaming live along with them because they have a propensity for getting in trouble.
I just thought I'd mention it, just going off what we were talking about earlier, Ryan, when on the Shank Club. And like you said, Melissa, I mean, I didn't want to go down that road either with the comments. And now you've said that, because I was watching it on replay, so I hadn't really taken much notice of the comments. I heard your name mentioned a couple of times, but obviously John, 49er fan, so
no, things got really dicey, and there was a couple people who messaged me, and I told Ryan sort of what happened. Mine kind of got dragged into it, complaining to John about how ugly things got, and I wasn't really a fan of my name getting dragged into it without being talked to first. Even though I kind of agreed with the sentiment, but John is a great person. Tony, he kind of riles up Niner fans, but you know what? He's a Bill fan, and we love him for who he is. And some of his sound effects are hilarious. So we love the show. We love seeing how they've grown. They are officially a year running, which is awesome because they started off last year before the draft. So if you haven't watched the show, but if you are a Niner fan, I will warn you, they will rile you up because they purposely like to see John lose his shit live on camera.
Yeah, if you're a Niner fan, stick with the red and gold 24/7. Faithful Empire. 49er Faithful UK, Nick London, Club, Let's Talk Sports. I'm getting them all in there.
And Club 85. Because can never get enough love, and neither can George Kittle.
Nope.
You will notice, Melissa, now you follow me on social, the picture of me and Nick and the other Club 85 gets shared.
Dude, I liked all of those pictures last year when Nick posted them. I liked them. I retweeted them. I commented on them. Like, if there was a fifth option or fourth option on Twitter, I probably would have done it as well. So I've seen them and I adore them. And I tried last week after our video to ask Residency to help Club 85 out because, yes, they might be a small company, but I really believe that you guys are some of the most diehard fans out there for any team that you guys choose to be fans of. And I think it's ridiculous how hard you guys have to go overboard for shipping and handling just to try to represent the teams that you love.
Well,
it has gotten a little easier the last couple of years since we left the EU, because now we have more trade agreements with the States.
Yeah.
It's a little bit. It is a little bit easier. I think the threshold for deliveries has gone up a bit, which has helped a lot.
And I am hoping that because they are starting the Munich thing and Mexico's getting reinstalled and everything else, that'll help fans all over be able to get the gear that they want.
Well, I did see your tweet, and now thank you. On that note, Melissa, Zach, who's one of the co-founders, he has reached out to me. We've had a couple of emails. I had a Zoom call with him. He's keen to do what he can to reduce the shipping costs, but I appreciate he's a business as well. But once I can get it sorted, I will share the love with everyone. Because on that note, Melissa, I was watching the Locker Room Rant last week, and John V had mentioned he couldn't get a Steph Curry Pop Funko. So just watching the show, I went on eBay, and you can get them quite easily in the UK before the final. And said, look, if you want me to get one, I can get you one, but you just need to the postage. So that's another point I'm bringing to where, like, I think the relationship between the two sides of the pond helps, because it just shows you we'll all try and help with what we can. So thank you for your tweet. It does help, because as you've seen, Residency are blown away by the fact that we are not getting paid a single penny, dollar, dime. We've literally just fell in love with a product. We're fans, and we're tweeting out. And if our little channel on this side of the pond, as in the 49er Faithful UK, can help them get extra sales, then all be it.
And you got the Residency hat, which I was aiming for last year, so that is kind of cool that you won that. But yeah, like, the one coolest thing that you can do is tweet, and you know what? Maybe someone sees it, maybe they don't, but it does help, because not only does it make the person that you're trying to help out feel appreciated and grateful, but it does actually have an effect, because I don't know if you guys have seen Nothing But Niners, but Silverado Kev used to be on that show, and I fell in love with him, and he's a really good friend. So when he started up the Real Talk Niner Talk show, I had tweeted about it, and everyone was like, we didn't know Kev was on the show. And I kid you not, Miss Debbie Ryan and 100 other beautiful fans that followed me saw my posts all the time about it, and they became fans of the show. So just because it doesn't happen right away doesn't mean that tweeting doesn't help in the long run. And you never know who's listening.
Every little helps.
Yep.
And on that note, if everybody's all good, that's all I have for you.
That's it.
All right.
Bye, guys. Enjoy your Father's Days.
Happy
Hope
Father's
you all
Day
feel
to you guys,
special
okay?
today.
Indeed.
All right.
Yeah.
See you guys next weekend, okay?
All right.
See you
See you soon, guys.
All right.
Thanks for having us again, man.
No problem, bud. Got you.
Cheers.
Okay, Izzy Melissa. By the way, is Debbie Ryan's thing going on still, or that stopped already?
I believe she completed her raffle.
Yeah.
Yes.
How'd she do anyway? How did she do? You know?
I'm not gonna let that's her thing, but she is doing these beautiful Swarovski designed helmets, and you should hit her up. She has an eBay page, and she is doing really wonderful, beautiful custom made Niner gear. So if you ever want something, please hit up Miss Debbie Ryan, Miss Deb Deb. I think it's 3 Debs in her Twitter handle.
Yeah, I know. I don't have it written down here. I'm sorry.
But you could just look her up, Miss Deb. She is one of the sweetest, most caring, loving, faithful in the world. She does not care if you're from the Bay Area or wherever you are in the world. If you love Red and Gold, if you love podcasters, if you show your love and your good heart, she will adopt you into her world, and you will never have met a more caring, loving individual. I promise you that.
Yeah, she's always mostly on Nothing Niners, MBN, and she's usually on Faith. Oh, no, I'm not saying Faith. Sorry. My bad, people. I'm sorry.
Nitty Gritty Niners.
Nitty Gritty Niners, yes. Thank you. Sorry.
Also under the Wayne Breezy Enterprise.
Yep. There you go. Sorry for that, guys. Sorry. You know I'm still at it. So.
You're just a lady. You got to boast a jersey for Father's Day.
So, anything else you want to promote or say something about other?
You got me like 5 of them in. So.
Okay. Well, if that's a fact, I want to thank you all for watching The Faithful Empire, and of course,
we love you, Panama.
Yep. And I told you in Panama, you go ahead and DM me on my account, and I'll put you on here. I've talked about the days and the times you can be available for. It's all good. All right. So, happy Father's Day to everyone out there. Okay. Happy Father's Day to your dad, Melissa. Happy birthday to him. Hey.
You know, it's crazy. I also remembered this morning that it's also the anniversary of when Rocco came into our lives. Because my mom literally dragged him out on his birthday to go see a poodle in the Cheetahboro, Bergen County Animal Shelter.
Jeez.
I told you everything is today.
Wow. So, definitely a shout out to Pamela Queen. Thank you very much, girl. Thank you very much. Thank you, really. And, of course, shout out to my fellas at the Red and Gold 24/7. Money Mav, Coach Ron, a.k.a. Coach Ron, a.k.a. GM Mikey, Drewski, and TJ. All right?
And
I'm going to give you guys
a lot of love for Nick and Paul.
Nick and Paul, yep. Nick Welsh and Paul Hope. And, of course, if you have mixed feelings about Nick Cork, go ahead, give him a follow. He's a good guy, though. He is, though. But, you know, I mean, he's the one where he got me started up. So, but different paths, I guess. That's the way it goes. Plug, of course, Mav, Convo with Mavocado. All right. That's where you can watch the show on Tuesdays. That Niner Life, Coach Ron, a.k.a. Coach Ron. All right. And, of course, Bias D, coming soon. Hope it gets it going. Can't wait for it. And, of course, my man Paul, Club 85. All right. So, and, of course, Shank Club. All right. So, basically, that's what we got for you that I know of. And we will see you on, hopefully, we'll be back tomorrow night on That Niner Life with Coach Ron. So hopefully he'll have a show tomorrow. I know I probably might hop on. I'm not too sure. So I got work tomorrow night. So if not, I'll see you guys on Thursday. All right. All right, guys. Keep the faith. Never lose hope. There, guys. Later.